and good morning, everyone. This is Yolanda Dukes with another episode of Intuitive Insights. Today, my guest is Nathan White of NA Personal Development, here to talk about his healing modality of life coaching. Hi, Nate, and welcome. How are you today?
Hi, Dr. Dukes. I'm well, thanks.
It's good to see you. Tell me, how did you get into life coaching?
It's good to see you, too. I got into life coaching through a very selfish path. I didn't have happiness on the inside. Everything around me seemed to be really good, and yet on the inside it seemed to be really sad. And I started, I did a Google search for life coaching. I did a Google search for finding happiness, I believe it was. And here we are, more than a decade later.
Wow. So did that Google search, did that lead you to a class or just led you to information that you consider helpful?
The Google search led me to NLP, actually, Neuro-Linguistics Programming. And I met a great, great coach there. Hired her and have worked with her. I've worked with her on and off for more than a decade. And I ended up going through the NLP program, level 1, and going up the ranks and through a practitioner, which I'm a practitioner of NLP, and really getting an understanding of why my life didn't have that happiness, because I hadn't yet decided to take responsibility and accountability for my life. And once I worked with my coach, I was able to get a really clear idea of where I wanted to go and why I didn't have that happiness in my life.
Okay. And what did you conclude from that? Why weren't you happy?
I wasn't happy because there was a lot of stuff draining my energy. There were people and activities and just everyday things that were not serving me well. There were limiting beliefs that weren't even mine, that I had from childhood, that I had from other folks. And I was just sort of a drone going on every day. Ho-hum, why am I not happy?
Yeah, just in that life routine that society tells you you're supposed to be in. Yeah. But thank God for unhappiness. If it were not for unhappiness, we would not find our path. We wouldn't search those roads of personal and self-discovery. So thank God. I praise unhappiness.
I'm grateful for the unhappiness. There's always the positive intention, and without that unhappiness, I wouldn't have become the light seeker that I am.
Yeah, true that. So I think we spoke before. And did you recently sign up for Sedona University?
Yes, so Sedona University is in my future, and I'm excited about working through that program. And also, I am learning a very interesting modality called EFT, Emotional Freedom Tapping Technique.
Okay.
And I'm registered and starting the certification program, which is a year-long program, in September. And the idea with tapping is that we work with our inner voice, our inner child, through just, tapping points on our body and giving these limiting beliefs and giving these parts inside of us a truth, giving them an opportunity to really tell us what it is they're working with so that we can upgrade to where we are now.
Okay. So for people that don't understand, if they were to come to you for life coaching, you would practice the first modality.
I would practice all the modalities. So I would practice, first we would go with NLP, and I have a foundations program for folks who are new to life coaching. It's their first time. And we go through.
Explain to people who don't know what NLP, explain what that is.
It's Neuro-Linguistics Programming. NLP is a very magical study in a way of how our words play out in the universe.
Yeah.
Literally, brain, language meaning our words, and programming meaning we're running a program every day. And if we're not working with that program is working us. And that program is called life. Like you said earlier, that life, what did you say?
If you don't program the computer, then you've got obsolete programs just running on in the background, right?
Totally, completely. And it's just that kind of that life drone, that life, that life circumstance or whatever is running you. And It's old news. It's no longer where you are.
Yeah.
So, my goal with coaching, people come to me for coaching. What we do is we look at where we are, where you are. Now, because most likely, if you're finding me as a coach and you're looking for that, then you're noticing that the life you're living isn't congruent with who you are feeling. Yeah. And so I help folks achieve their personal goals along the way with happiness and joy by getting that congruent, getting who you are in here, matching how this looks out here.
Yeah. That's very, very important. And for the viewers, there was a point in our history where something we call magic or spell casting. Our language, if you can imagine that the very air that you breathe is intelligent energy and is listening to you and is responding to you, that was the basis of so-called witchcraft. And it's very, very real. It has meaning. And if you've ever studied a foreign language, you would truly realize that the English language is backwards. It's written backwards and it has a lot of double meanings. So that's a great area to explore the history of certain words. You think?
Yeah, truly, I agree. I think it is a great idea to look at the history of words. I think it's interesting, and I think you find you'll find yourself questioning the words you use. And when you come into a session with me and we get started on coaching, we don't have that I don't know, because that's BS.
Yeah.
You do know. You knew enough to say, I don't want to go there, so I don't know. Yeah. So we don't have that, because that has meaning. Words have meaning. Someone said once, actions speak louder than words. And actions and words are both impactful. Actions don't speak. Actions show and feel.
Yes.
Words speak. And words have weight, and they have meaning. And when we're going through everyday life, and you have a goal, you see it there, and it's there, and you're looking at your goal and you're putting in the work, you're trying to get to that goal, but it doesn't happen, and you realize that maybe you've never said, I am worth this.
Yeah.
Because there's a limiting belief somewhere. They're saying, ooh, you get that's gonna hurt, or ooh, mom's not gonna like this, sister's not gonna like somebody, then they're gonna be jealous of you, you may lose a friend, or whatever that is for you. And so we get real clear about those, because again, they have positive intention. They're not there to hurt us. These limiting beliefs are not here to be our enemy. We often think fear is our enemy, and actually fear is one of our greatest friends, because fear is trying to get us. Fear isn't just trying. Fear is achieving its goal every day in and out by limiting us. So we take a moment in coaching and we acknowledge fear. We bring fear on board. We get fear on our side, because we're all here one in your body, in your spirit, working together. Yes. So we listen to fear and we find those positive intentions, and then we change that language a little bit so that achieving your goal is work. So you start working towards achieving your goal, not just trying to get there.
Yeah. So in your decade and your personal journey through this seems like it's worked for you. You seem apparently happy. Are you happy on the inside?
I smile from the inside, from the very first breath I take to the very last breath at night. If we were having this conversation 10 or 12 years ago, I would think, what a bunch of hokey crap. I would think, oh my gosh, no, I'm going to go do something else. I'm busy. I would go be at a party. I need to be seen, because I thought that's what fulfillment was. I thought that was happiness, searching those external influences for it. Mm-hmm. And it's all right here. The reason I named my business Innate Personal Development is because happiness is within. It's innate within all of us.
I love that. Yes.
Yeah, we're born with it. Now, let's let it come out more. Let's take off. Let's literally knock off and dust off some of this stuff, these limiting beliefs, these negative emotions, these patterns that we put ourselves into. that hurt us because all you might know or all we might have known is that stress.
Mm-hmm.
Let's clean it up a bit. Let's get clear and let's find that treasure within. That's the goal. That's the goal of my practice in coaching.
That's wonderful. I know from my journey when I realized that my life was not okay, although I had achieved all the things I wanted to, but it was just stuff in the end. And I thought, well, I'm not really all that happy. I find it very revealing that I had to honestly think about what joy was, because it wasn't something that I was accustomed to having. I'd had happiness, I'd had great events, but every day just being happy to be alive, that I did not have. And finding my joy, just like doing this and doing the sessions, this has been my joy. This is the greatest thing I could have ever done.
I hear you and feel you and see you doing the work that brings you so much passion.
Yeah.
When I started this, I just wanted to have a little bit of happiness for myself. I didn't think about the other people around me. And I did an exercise where I was shaving my face, an everyday mundane task. And the goal was to use your other hand, to use your non-dominant hand. And I shaved. I thought, that's a really weird thing to do. This is hard. And I realized I feel this. I actually felt myself going through emotion. Just like every day of my life, I didn't feel myself. I was just going through the motion. And when I took that moment to start feeling what the emotions were, and I still do that to this day, what the emotions are, there's this beauty in everyday things. There's something that brings you joy. Buddha, one of Buddha's students asked once, how do you get to enlightenment? And I'm totally paraphrasing. He said, chop wood, carry water. And then he said, well, what do I do after enlightenment? Buddha said, chop wood, carry water. So for me, when I started to take a breath and be present in my everyday things, this joy started just overcoming me almost, because I had never even thought about the luxury of having that warm water or that beautiful razor or even the knowledge and the society in which I needed to navigate through. Mm-hmm. So instead of being afraid of this worldly existence that I need to learn to navigate through, it became joy. And again, I lived my life in a childlike way with adult responsibility. That's my optimal goal, is to carry that joy with me and share it with others. Because think about a child, and when maybe someone you loved hugged you. It may have been a teacher or someone that you looked up to. The sense of respect for that hug brought you so much fulfillment. Oh, yeah. And that's still there within you. So, and for my journey, starting to take the time to be present, which is what we do, which is what I do in coaching. I help folks get present with those everyday things. There is joy all around. And once I did that, I realized that there was time and space to share this with other folks, that I wanted other people to get this. And I wanted other people to have that moment where they were present and just breathing and seeing that bird flying, or walking down a street and noticing a flower from, growing from the crack in a sidewalk, and the magic that is.
The will to live, yes.
It's amazing. And we every day have these beautiful lives and beautiful folks around us.
And you also had a very unique experience. Other people do not know this, that you and I have previously interacted. And I did your QHHT session. Do you want to tell people how that was for you?
Sure. This is how I explain it, Dr. Dukes. Something is not the same. I use a quote from a musical, the musical Wicked. It's like, something has changed within me and something is not the same.
Yeah.
And it's like, I really, truly have began to walk my walk a little taller and breathe my breaths a little deeper. And I've begun to appreciate the colors around me more than I ever noticed before. I was in a place, when we did our session, I was in a place of what the heck. I'm doing the work. I'm doing this. I'm doing that. I hadn't made time and space for my own joy.
Mm-hmm.
I was going through the motions of my own, trying to help others. One of my mentors once said, put your mask on first. Put your oxygen mask on first. It's a cardinal rule. How have you not learned this one yet? And then we laughed and laughed about it because it was true. And so when I went to QHHT, I had some really interesting questions about, what am I doing? Is this right? What should I be eating? What was I like, another time? And
I love that. That's one of my favorite parts of doing it because everybody has different questions. And I am personally enriched by the answers when you guys ask these questions. So I need everybody to know that. It's really cool. And you got answers to your questions?
I got answers to my questions. There was a piece. When I was leaving the office, I took an Uber up instead of driving. And when I left the office, I was sitting on the tollway in 635. Concrete jungle in my mind before. And I noticed these beautiful, strong trees growing just, to the southwest of the toll road. And I've sat on that stretch of highway, I can't tell you how many hundreds of times in my life commuting over this big city of Dallas, Texas. And there were just trees everywhere. And the sky was big and blue and a beautiful Texas sky with these tall white clouds. And I knew instantly that another layer had been peeled off. And that work that we did together there, was just that little bit of a shift that made those huge differences. I say this to folks when I have clients sometimes we'll have an exercise, like maybe changing, brushing your teeth or shaving your face with your non-dominant hand. Well, that's tiny. That's not going to make any sense. That's not going to do anything. I have a strong belief that on this planet, those little things convex into huge things in the universe. And the big things, it's the same thing. They're not that big of a deal out there. It's the little things here. When people say the little things matter, the little things have the same amount of energy as the big things, but they take less energy to do.
Yeah.
Start with something small.
It's all a snowball. So when you're having, personal doubts in your own mind about what you can do or what you can't do, that little thought of can't snowballs and snowballs. And before you know it, it is the monster inside of your head.
Yes. I mean, they say that, can't, never can, or whatever it is. They say, can't, couldn't, I can't remember what the saying is. But that is really true. And when you keep telling yourself, I can't do that, I can't do that. It's a lasting belief that can be changed like that, but that's the difference. It's having the awareness of saying, I've been saying all along that I want to do this, but I have these fears, I have these limiting beliefs holding me back. And, for the viewers watching it, because I think you and I know you and I have learned this, we're not the only ones. You're not the only one having that limiting belief. Yeah. It may seem like it because you're the only one in your head, but I have a special method that I use. It's an NLP technique that I've taken and grown, and I don't have to know what my client is working through to help them reframe that negative emotional belief, or that limiting belief. And it's completely fine for me to not know because it's not my stuff and I don't want that stuff. You can keep your stuff. But let's work on it together because people really do feel that they're the only ones. And, we see it over and over with, folks who are ill or who, have these limiting beliefs, and folks in seminars and things that really are there because they want to make a difference. People who come to coaching because they want a difference in their life, but there's something that it's just too heavy for them, When I went through QHHT, that stuff that I thought was maybe too heavy, that I didn't maybe even realize was still there. Yeah. It was free.
Oh yeah, you had some eye-opening things happen. And it was, by the way, too, I want everyone to know that you had a healing. Your higher self granted you a healing.
Yes. It did. That it was amazing. So I had a jaw issue. And it was a jaw issue that was a physical issue, and I was in pain constantly with it and always noticing it, being aware of it. And I would fidget my jaw, and I would have to be aware in an interview or in a session, or even talking to folks, to not fidget my jaw. So, because it was annoying to me and other people, and it would crack loudly. And so I went to the traditional doctor, and went to the tradition or the modern traditional route of medicine, and it was a surgery that would result in having plates and screws in my face, because it would change in order to fix this issue.
Wow.
It would change my facial structure. And I opted not to do that and to sort of live through the pain. Well, I'm getting, this body is aging a bit. And even though I'm taking better care of my body and aware and love and I'm grateful for my body, this was becoming an issue. And when we were in our session, my inner conscious brought this up. Mm-hmm. And I remember you telling me that I saw your jaw move. So yeah. I was just looking at photos of myself for, to share with you. And for my website, it's updated. My jaw is aligned. I don't have the cringing, the TMJ, the issue, whatever it was. I'm free of pain now.
Wow.
Yeah, so it was a true healing.
It's funny too, because when you came in with your questions, that was not one of your questions.
It wasn't even in my mind that would be a scope of that session. Yeah. But clearly my inner conscious knew that was holding me back.
Yeah, I remember too. And your higher self said, wait, I said, can we do a scan of his body and see how his general health is? Everything's good. And then you said, well, your higher self said, no, jaw's not right. And I was watching you in that very relaxed state, and I could see it moving. I was like I know your personality was not there. I mean, you were so still, just so watching that one part of your body realign itself was amazing for me.
It was amazing. I will tell you that the amount of relief I have from that. And it's just really, and that is how it also aligned in the outside world.
Yes.
That's exactly how it aligned in the outside world. And again, I say, something has changed within me. The heavy stuff that I thought was heavy before, not here now. And it's really open.
Yeah, it's that. When you get into that state for people that have never had it, it's just clarity. You go in believing that you have a problem, but your higher self says, that's not even an issue. Look, it's gone. Yeah. Here's a better way to look at that. And it's just gone. It's amazing.
It's amazing. My friends, I don't have best friends. I have a council of friends. So a cabinet, I call them. And so they, over the years, they've always made light of my light seeking, because there'll be a book. They get a book in the mail. They get a card in the mail with a quote. Over the years, they probably have a box of all the things that they've gone through and read. For sure, a mental box of all the amazing things they probably learned throughout the years. And so, none of them would be surprised by the newest meditation method I've gone and practiced and been certified in, or, the visualization technique that I've learned that I want to share. And when I've shared this with them, they've all noticed that there's this different kind of peace about me in my everyday life and the way that I see and interact with the external influences. And this is a piece that I wanted desperately to achieve at parts of my life. And then I realized that I was happy where I was. And then I found you and did QHHT. And it's almost like I was at that point where I wasn't fearful of what would happen. I wasn't. And so if you don't even have an understanding what QHHT was, because I did not know what QHHT was. If you've never done a meditation method, if you've never done hypnosis, it was amazing, because I walked in, instantly felt comfortable with you in your beautiful office, and we got right to work. It wasn't painful. I didn't reveal any deep, dark, no one was toying with my brain,
Yeah. I don't do any of that.
No, and some people have that, even with me in relaxation. Sometimes people ask, and I let them know, no, you're fully in control, you're fully there. This is just relaxation. And that's what it was. It felt like just another day I was going to meditate and be walked through a different meditation. And before I know it, 4.5, 5 hours later, my jaw's fixed, and I'm like, dang, look at how beautiful that tree is.
So this is what we're going to do today. Any of Nate's clients or anybody you refer me to, they're going to get an extra 50% off if they want to do a session. And they just need to mention the word amazing to get their discount. How does that sound?
Aww. That sounds amazing. Amazing. Thank you.
So for the people that want to reach you to have life coaching, how would they do that?
They can find me at my website. It's www.8personaldevelopment.com, or they can email me at nathan@innatepersonaldevelopment.com. And I look forward to hearing from any of you who are even just curious about life coaching. Sometimes I meet with a potential client. Actually, I don't even say potential client. I meet with a new friend. Yeah. Really, coaching is just about having a professional relationship with a friend. Yeah. A friend you have not met yet. So we meet for coffee first. We can meet in my office. We can meet, out and about. And we just have a conversation and decide if we're both a good fit for what their goal is and how they want to move forward. And if I'm and if you're a good fit and what you're looking for is a good fit for me and my skill sets. So we really get to decide if, we're a great fit, we're a good fit, and we want to work together to achieve more happiness, joy, and success in your life.
So for a life coaching session, is it multiple sessions? Or you have the first one, which lasts about an hour or so?
Yeah. So the first session is a really good chat. It's about 30 to 45 minutes. Sometimes they're just 30 minutes, and that's perfectly all right. We get a good feel for it, and we move forward. And then I like to do the foundation series first with folks. It's a series of 6. It's over 6 to 8 weeks, depending on the schedule, and some of them are in person. It's important to have in person, and then some of them are over Skype or over video chat. And so we have those 6 weeks to really get a good foundation going for the next group of series. And then I also do something a little different where I have it's growth and inspiration sessions, and that's generally I like to hold those for folks that have gone through foundation already. But depending on the situation or circumstance, we can meet. And it's about a specific ant that's holding you back. It's about a roadblock that you really are already pretty clear about or not clear about at all. You just have an idea. Something isn't congruent. Something's not lining up here. And so then we can meet for one session. It's about 2 hours, and there's a bunch of NLP work. So those take more of my energy and work. The coaching, the beauty of the coaching is we're doing it together. The participant, the client, the new friend is actively moving toward their success and happiness. And so with growth and inspiration session, I'm doing a lot of the work, working through it, and you leave feeling better, amazing, and having a new belief about whatever is holding you back, and a measurable goal set. But you don't get the great visualization techniques. You don't get a meditation method in there that I teach and that we learn and really develop. And you don't get all of, I like to call it all of the treasure, all the loot that you get to add to your toolbox.
Yeah. Wow. Well, we are out of time, and I want to give you a great big virtual hug and thank you for meeting with me today. I always appreciate your energy, and I call Nathan if you need some help, you guys.
Thank you so much. I appreciate the work you do, and I just love you so much. Thank you for being a part of my human existence, and thank you for all that you do.
Thank you.